Yes, I know. Before you guys go ahead and start ranting about which side did worse and everything, just look at the bright side, right? Just look at the bright side. The Colts won. Is that not good enough? Because I know it's not for some people, but for me, a W is a W at the end of the day, no matter how you get it. And I'm glad that the Colts got the W at the end of the day. Like I said, it's gonna be fair sided for both sides. So you can voice your opinion. Totally understand. I know it's gonna be some defense stinks. So the offense stinks. Somebody's gonna say game planning is the issue. Carson Wentz is the issue. I know these things are gonna come. Trust me, I understand. But like I said, at the end of the day, don't forget that the Colts won, which was the biggest point of this whole thing. Is that the Colts needed to win. Simple as that. Now next week, it's a whole different story. It's gonna be one of those games. I already know it. I just got my mind prepared. But if you look at it on the bright side, there's this theory I got going on with the Colts, right? So the theory is that our quarterback Carson Wentz, who I claim to be a 50-50 player, right, against the Jets, played phenomenal. Follow me? Just follow me. He played phenomenal against the Jets. Against the Jaguars, not so good. He played very bad. But next week, maybe he might be back to normal because he's like an on and off quarterback. If you're not noticing the trend, just watch the schedule. Just go all the way down to the schedule. He's had a good game, bad game, good game, bad game, good game, bad game, good game, bad game. And next week might be a good game for him. And if I am right, please come back to this video and say, Culture Shock, we understand now. Because that's the trend I'm starting to notice from Carson Wentz's performances. But it is what it is. The Colts did what they had to do, right? So Carson Wentz was 22 for 34, 180 passing yards, and he still does the left-handed flick offs on those passes. Nobody likes the left-hand passes, I get it. But when it works, it's a thing of beauty. Everyone takes a deep breath when it works. But when it doesn't, and you get one of these teams that watches film and knows what's going to happen when he does one of those type of scenarios, it's over. It's pretty much over. And I hope the Bills is not going to be one of those teams. But the Jaguars, they fought pretty hard. I already knew it was going to be a good game due to the protection they put up against the Bills, even though they held them to like 9 points. The Jaguars' defense is scary when they bring that pressure. We know they're going to bring pressure, especially being a rivalry game, the first meeting that we've seen all year against the Jaguars. It's going to be a tough battle. Carson Wentz, like I said, 22 for 34, 180 passing yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Not a good look. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 116 yards, 1 touchdown, average 5 yards per carry. I still think we could have used him more because he was the key focal point for that game was running the football. Jonathan Taylor couldn't be stopped. And then when we went away from it, it was just like, all right, we know what they're going to do. And then they pretty much stopped us every now and then. So that's just how it looked. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor's about to eclipse Derrick Henry in the rushing status of this year. I think he needs like 1 more yard. But he's had a heck of a season. Most Colts fans kind of predicted how Jonathan Taylor was going to look this year, coming off of last year with his success at the end. But he's been doing a good job this year. Keep it up, Jonathan Taylor. We're proud of you, man. Run the football is still the slogan, even though we don't really use it. But he had 21 carries. It don't look like it because we were going away from it. But he got the football more than 20 times. But like I said, Naheem Hines, two carries, 12 yards. Not really using him like we should, but it is what it is. Michael Pittman Jr. had some big plays at the end of the game. 5 receptions, 71 yards, no touchdown. Still needed a touchdown from Michael Pittman Jr., but hey, it'll do. At the end of the day, we got the Doyle. Jack Doyle had a big play at the end of the game as well to get that first because we were all taking deep breaths. The defense bailed us out so many times, and the offense just did not figure it out. But when we got it at the end of the game, and it was coming down to that point, we converted on 3rd down. And Jack Doyle was one of those guys that converted. So happy for that play. Naheem Hines was used in the receiving game as well. 2 receptions, 17 yards. Like I said, I still think we could have used him better, in my opinion, going on week to week. Colin Granson had a really big play. He showed his explosiveness on that one catch. He went, 15 yards. Doolin had a big play as well at the end of the game. Both of these guys definitely should be used more into the system. But hey, that's just the offense. It's just one of those Sundays where people just don't really get used like how they're supposed to be used. We go away from the game plan, and that's one of the biggest issues for the Colts moving forward is not executing the game plan and sticking with what's working. Like I said, you could switch it up. I totally understand that because, most defenses will catch on to what you're doing. But definitely sticking to the game plan has to be the key moving forward to try to give any type of chance for the Colts to make the wild card, even though it's going to be tough. But, just sticking with the game plan, look at the other teams and seeing how they work. But looking at the good games where we have on the offensive side, you should take most of those successes and put it into the game plan moving forward. So yeah, that's just one of the things. Another thing is, running back committee. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor is a dog. It's unacceptable to see him not getting the football in key moments where we really need him. And then when you try to give it to him and doesn't have that same momentum, it's just a dead play. And we're just stuck in quicksand. And then you try to force Carson Wentz to do something that's just going to make an amazing play to go shock the crowd or shock the defense, but they're not shocked at all because they know we're coming. So, like I said, one of the things that we really missed for the Colts is the play action plays. We didn't really use that like we should have. We tried to hit Ty on a few passes, maybe Big Mo on a few passes as well, and it just wasn't there. Like I said, going away from the game plan is one of the issues for the Colts this week against the Jaguars. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we got the W. That's all I care about. So we're going to keep moving forward. Sendejo led the team in tackles today, which is a shocker. He had a big hit at the end of the game, too. So credit to Sendejo. Darius Leonard was banged up on injuries. Kenny Moore got banged up that game as well. Isaiah Rodgers played lights out phenomenal. Shout out to Isaiah Rodgers, his first start because Xavier Rhodes was down. Had a really good game. Rock Ya-Sin, in which I like to call Lock Ya-Sin, had a good game as well. Shout out to him. Oh man, those two corners, the young studs, man, they stepped up to the plate and they performed today. And I was a little worried going into the game with George Odom and Sendejo in the backfield at safety, but they did what they had to do. Another week, we didn't get toasted. So hey, they did what they had to do. That's all that matters. I seen a little Josh Jones in the field today. Adai stepped on the field for the first time, like I said. But hey, the defense, that 66-yard play from James Agnew, I think that's his name. Let me check for a second. Agnew, he had that one, Jamal Agnew had that one play. It was just 66 yards, which is just unacceptable. Blown coverage, just wide open, down the field. Unacceptable, man. Like, plays like that, it's just like, we already knew what was coming. Because it was going into the second half, the Colts defense, is going to disappear. But like I said, the credit goes to the Colts defense. They kept us in this game the entire game. They kept us in the entire game. They gave the offense so many chances to close it. It was like, please close it, please close it. Basically, if the defense could talk through the TV, that's what they're saying. Please close, please end the game. Seal the deal. That's what they were saying. And we couldn't do that on offense. So we needed points from the defense. We tried to get it, but hey, it is what it is. Hurricane Dio had a big fumble at the end of the game. Got the job done. Shout out to Hurricane Dio. Taylor Stallsworth continuing to be a stud, having a breakout season, doing what he has to do. DeForest Buckner stepped up today. Kwity Paye, he stepped up today. They both got a sack split. But hey, man, like I said, the defense did what they had to do. They got the W. Offense has to be better moving forward. I would like to see more of the first half offense from the Colts that played the Jets the other week. Hey, if we can get that first half Colts against the Jets and we get the defense that played today, you got a good team moving forward with the Colts. Got a tough stretch ahead, man. Try to pull it off. Even though we know some teams that we played coming up lost, it's not the same thing when they play us because it's a different team and it's a different game plan. When they go into film room, they look over the loss that they played and then they look over the team that they're playing up against next. And when they play the Colts, they know the middle of the field is going to be open. They know their key player is Jonathan Taylor, even though we know we probably going to be successful with him anyway. The offensive line was terrible today as well, so you can't really put all the blame on Carson Wentz, even though he did make some terrible plays. But the offensive line was horrible, and Quentin Nelson got banged up again today. So the offense in general was just bad. Hopefully we can get healthier going down the stretch. But if we can fix the offensive line protection, maybe it can get Carson Wentz more comfortable like he was against the Jets. And then if the defense can just stay consistent like they were today, on Sunday, hey, like I said, we'll have a good team moving forward, but it is what it is. We got the W. Shout out to all the players. We got the dub. Colts, Moving forward, playing the Bills next. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about the game between the Jaguars and the Colts for the first time this year. Division rivalry sealed the deal at home. Next time we will play in Jacksonville. If nobody knows, it's very hard to win in Jacksonville when you're the Colts, but it is what it is. Like I said, we got the dub. Let me know in the comment section again. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.